Hey everyone, welcome back to the Americans Under God YouTube channel. If you are an American and you believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, please hit that subscribe button and follow us with this journey as we continue to try to bring the Lord's name along with politics to your screen. Well, today I am flying solo today once again. I am not here with my co-host Will, but we are reacting to the Donald Trump interview that Jake Paul decided was a great idea right in the middle of a war to finally do this. And honestly, not a bad move on Trump's side of things. You know, he needs to try to get his popularity up with the youth, but I don't really think this is a very good time. I think it actually backfired a little bit. So let's just get into this and let's play it. I haven't watched this. I have not pre-watched any of it. I haven't seen any clips, but I knew I wanted to react to this for you guys. So let's get into it right away.
So,
Mr. President, what an honor.
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for sitting down with me today. I think we'll get into some personal stuff, some fun stuff, and yeah, it's an honor. We're here at a factory doing a rally. It's my first rally, and it's actually my first show on this podcast. So you're gonna be my first and last
That's
guest.
good. Well, we're gonna have to get good ratings.
We got to get some good
We
ratings.
better.
You were flying in on Air Force One,
Right?
Is it true that you watched the Joshua fight on Air Force
I
One?
watched it. I watched you, and I thought you were very brave. He's a pretty big guy. You know, he's good, and he's legit. Look, he's a legitimate fighter, and I thought you were great. You did yourself no harm,
No.
other than
That fight was ridiculous. If you guys don't know, Anthony Joshua was a world champion at heavyweight. Jake Paul fought up 20 pounds against him. If you haven't seen that, it's ridiculous. Can't even believe Jake Paul lasted that long. He was running around. It was a good strategy, but eventually Anthony Joshua connected, and Jake Paul's jaw broke in two different spots. It was a fight to watch. Truly reminds me of David and Goliath, but I digress.
your chin, maybe.
Other than the jaw, which is healing. How big is
There
the TV on Air Force One? That
good.
what I was-
It's good. It's good. The best you can have. I tell you. You know, they view it as cost is no object, right? But it was good. I get to see that. I really watched it. We had a whole plane full of people watching you, and you know, if size mattered,
Yeah,
then I said he's going to be in trouble. And they say it matters.
I got into the ring with him, and I realized he was much bigger than I thought.
You didn't see that like at a weigh-in, or
No,
anything?
not at the weigh-in, not at the press conference. And then I got in the ring. I just saw his size, and I was just like, okay, this is going to be a tough night.
So who do you fight next?
It's a good question. I think Francis.
Would you ever
Ngannou-
fight him again? No,
No, I don't think so. I think I need to go stay at my weight class.
I think so. Right?
Maybe doing some MMA. We're promoting fights now
Right?
on Netflix. We got Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Maybe Usyk in MMA.
Right.
Francis
Very good.
Ngannou, Ryan Garcia,
Right.
maybe Tommy Fury.
All right, I know this is, off topic, but Jake, what's going on with your tie? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he did it on purpose or whatever. But if you've seen this, he was sweating through this suit. So whoever his stylist is, it does look pretty good. But I think Sneeko was saying it when Obama wore a tan suit like this, people were outraged. But that's just how politics are. People get mad over stupid stuff, over stuff that does not matter.
There's a lot of. Who would you want to see me fight?
Well, I probably Khabib. How about Khabib?
I'm down.
You know,
God.
I think he's been just great. When they say who is the best of those, I mean, I've had a lot of fights. I've had Mike Tyson and a lot of them. That was great.
Have you ever been in a fight? I heard a rumor about you like helping Kobe one time at a game. Is that
was
a true
long
story?
time ago, right? That was
Is this a
yeah.
true story?
Well, it wasn't a fight. I was breaking up a fight,
Okay.
which sometimes is more dangerous than being in a fight, right? But no, I like Kobe. Kobe was having a hard time with somebody, and it worked out fine. But yeah, I broke it up. Probably not a smart thing to do. Historically, it's never good to break up fights.
Yeah, I try to de-escalate situations a lot. But you're gonna be at UFC 250.
I will be. It's going to be amazing at the White House. And Dana's a great guy. He's a good fan of yours, you know.
Yes.
But Dana's a good guy, the best. I mean, there's nobody like him. And he had the idea of staging it right at the front door of the White House. We'll be right in the front door of the White House. And He's got a tremendous card. I don't even know if it's filled out, but I just saw it, and it looks like it's going to be, all top guys. They all want to fight at the White House, so it's going to be in honor of the 250th year. So it'll be great.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Sean O'Malley. He's the homie.
Oh yeah.
He's a great fighter. And that's what I wanted to ask. You went from boxing promotion, apprentice, TV shows, and then eventually, obviously real estate, and then eventually was like, okay, I'm going to go into politics. How did that transition happen? Because I see myself wanting to get more into this world. I believe it's the biggest way to create impact and change.
Would you
America.
ever run for office?
I think so. That's what I'm asking for some advice.
Okay, so this makes sense because I've seen on Twitter, this is one of the only clips I really did see, is that Donald Trump endorsed Jake Paul for political office. So now Jake Paul is coming out and saying that he would run for office. This is his, I guess, a plan of his, which is a very interesting thing. He would be a populist. Populists do win in specific times under turmoil. You could see a time like 2015 when Donald Trump ran. It was a very specific time, and he ran, and he was a populist, and everyone said he couldn't win, and he proved them wrong, and he said, well, here you go, and I won, and he did win, and it's very, very impressive from someone to just join, and he destroyed everyone in the Republican nominee. He gets the nominee, and he ends up having one of the biggest upsets ever against Hillary Clinton. So it's possible for Jake Paul. As crazy it sounds, it's possible for him to win. So let's hear more about this, because I'm more interested in this than anything they've said so far.
It's how did you make that transition, and was it hard?
Yeah, I don't know. I had to do it. It's hard. A lot of people talk about it. You had to do it. And I had one shot left, because you get to a certain age, you have a few years left. You got about 40 years to make the decision. But I had one shot. The timing was good. But if I waited longer, it wouldn't have been good because of the clock, the famous clock.
Yeah.
Father time.
Yeah.
And so I had to make a decision. Do I do it? And I made it, but I was thinking about it for years. I used to talk about it because I was well known. I was very well known. I was successful, did well, loved real estate. Then we had The Apprentice. Mark Burnett was great. And we did, I did lots of #1 bestsellers. My books were all bestsellers. And I see we have magazines. I was on this magazine so much. I'm looking at that picture. What are you doing to me? Show me that picture.
This is the coolest magazine cover of all time.
Yeah, well, it's like.
Was it hot on your ear? Could you feel the bullet?
You had that throbbing feeling. You knew there was something. It was a bloody mess. What happens is, well, this better than anybody. The ear bleeds more, because I said, why is there so much blood? And the ear's a big bleeder, having to do with cartilage. I didn't want to go into it too much, but it was bloody as hell. So when I checked, I put my hand up. I said, I brought it down, and it was loaded up. So I said, that's either the biggest mosquito bite in history, or I just got shot. And that was not a pleasant experience.
Yeah, my adrenaline was pumping. I'm sure your adrenaline was pumping. When my jaw was broken, I just couldn't really feel it.
Oh, so you knew that you had a broke, and you didn't?
No, my brother told me. I was talking to him, and my teeth were in the center of my mouth, and he was like, "Yo, I think your jaw is broken." And then I grabbed it.
But when he was hitting you, you didn't feel that.
It was the last punch.
It was the last punch?
Yeah, the very last punch of the fight that did it. So that's when I went to the floor and was like, "Whoa."
Was that hard to recover from?
Yeah, it's still healing.
It's still healing.
Yeah, I'm not able to fight till later this year.
Will that heal perfectly though? Eventually,
hopefully.
It won't have lasting impact, right? I hope.
No, I think it'll be able to grow back stronger. Hopefully, so
it's amazing because I've
praise God.
known a lot about fights. I've hosted a lot of fights over the years, and it was amazing when you started doing this. I said, it's not possible I call it a civilian, for a civilian to beat a professional boxer. Because I've seen, even if they were much older, because, they've been the best fighters and all. And at first I said, well, is this really happening? Because, you were beating guys, UFC guys who weren't retired that long.
Yeah.
And I just didn't think it was possible. And then I realized, you know, you really are the real deal. The one problem is this last guy was so big
Yeah.
and talented. Didn't he win the Olympics too? On top
Yeah,
of
gold
everything?
medalist.
You didn't need this.
No, I know. People said I was crazy.
Would you have done it again, knowing how it worked out?
Yeah, I don't have any regrets on it, and I love a challenge, and it motivated me to get better. And the experience of being in the ring with someone that good and someone that big, I think moving forward, the next people I fight, it's gonna be like a lot easier actually. So I think it was good experience, but I think that's defying the odds, which is like what you've done as well. When everyone says you
True.
can't do it,
True.
Do you have advice for younger people for going against the tide, going against the wind, and just
Well, the
locking in?
biggest victories are when you go against the wind.
Yeah,
Right? Go against what everyone thinks like can't be done. Those are the biggest victories. They're usually the most lucrative too, even in business. Yeah, when you hit it, it's a bigger hit. But like I just said, I'm going to do it. I was thinking about it for so long, and sometimes people would say, like, you ought to do it, or don't talk about it. My wife actually said, do it, or don't talk about it. I'd watch these guys, and like at debates, I say, I could kill him. I mean, that guy's nothing. Like you, that guy's nothing.
yeah,
And I said, I could. There's no way he could beat me in a debate. And she said, all right, so do it, or don't do it, but don't talk about it.
yeah.
And I actually said, I wasn't sure if I liked that too much, but she would actually say, our first lady is now a movie star. Okay, so
Yeah.
on top of everything else, she's now first lady and a movie star.
I've
Movie
seen the
is
doc.
the number one movie. Can you
Melania,
believe
yeah.
it? But she'd say, do it or don't do it. It's okay,
Yeah.
but don't talk about it. And if you do it, you're going to win. You know that, don't you? I said, no. If you do it, you're going to win, but do it or don't do it. It's okay. Either way is okay.
Yeah.
So you have to do it. And like you said, you have that little bug, and it is a bug, you know, being a politician, it is a bug. I think there was nothing like in history when I won the first time. You know, it's that was the most unbelievable thing. And then coming back, some people would say it was bigger than the first time. I got cheated, and the second I did great. It's like somebody cheating in a fight, and it's coming out. All that stuff is coming out now. But
it's coming out, but there hasn't been any prosecutions. Like, this is what this administration needs to step it up. Kash Patel needs to step it up. I think that, I mean, with this, with the quote-unquote Russia hoax, with the Epstein files, there has been absolutely nothing from the American government. There needs to be prosecutions, and it needs to happen soon. Because if it doesn't happen in this administration, when is it going to happen?
in a way, it made the second victory bigger, much bigger. And it was just, you know, it's a great feeling. Winning is a good thing, you know, winning, and whether it's in politics, whether it's in fighting, winning is amazing.
Yep.
There's no feeling like winning.
Yep.
And most people don't think they can win. Most people, I actually think some people don't want to win. You understand that?
Yeah, they
don't
want to
wanna
be
win.
victimized and feel
They
bad
wanna
for
be- yeah, they wanna-
themselves.
This weird thing going on.
I would
So-
rather lose. That was what I was saying with Joshua. Is I'd rather lose and get embarrassed, but the chance of me winning, it could be the greatest upset.
Yeah, but
in
you weren't
sports.
embarrassed because,
No.
first of all, he was so much bigger.
Yeah.
Look, one thing I've seen in fighting, if somebody's like 4 pounds heavier, it's a different weight class.
Yeah,
And it's hard to beat somebody that's even a little bit heavier. And you've with a guy that was like 60, 70 pounds heavier, right? At
Yeah.
least.
no, exactly.
So it's you did. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man. This is my brand, which is all about winning. So it's funny you're saying that. Made in the USA. I know you're all about bringing jobs back to America. I don't know.
That's
if
good
you could
looking, though.
Thank you, man.
Go by it, Mega. That's good.
I don't know how much there is left of MAGA. You know, previously I was MAGA, but, you know, it's really hard to stay MAGA when, if you want the Epstein files to be released, then you can't support him anymore. That's what he said. So, you know, MAGA, it's been very dwindled down. But, you know, whoever's left of MAGA, go buy the W. Go buy his deodorant.
Yeah,
That's
we're
cool.
in Walmarts and really
Good.
hitting like the heart of America, but made in the USA. And I know you want to bring more jobs. And I think my generation, I think, is in a weird place with like going to school, getting jobs. AI is coming. Give any advice to my generation of people of where to go,
Yeah.
where to look, what jobs, manufacturing,
Yeah.
how can they get more active and get more opportunities in front of them?
So you know this better than anybody. Because I get this question a lot. What do you do?
Yeah.
You always have to find something you love doing.
Yeah.
Like I tell people their father wants them to go into business and he hates the business, and the father's successful, they're pushing the son. You've got to do something you like, or you're just not going to be successful at it if you don't.
True.
With that being said, try and like something that's where there's a future. Like the hot thing right now is AI.
Yeah.
If you know the AI thing, you're going to get an unbelievable, crazy job at ridiculous numbers you never thought of. That could cool off. Maybe it's going to cool off, but right now. So if you like computers and all of that, it's not a bad thing. Go into an industry. There are some industries. Retailing is always tough. There are some industries that are tough. If you love it, do it. But if you can love something with it where it's got a lot of potential, you're much better off doing that. I have friends that are really smart. They went into businesses that are very, very tough. And they lost. I mean, they work. They're smarter than other people I know, but they're in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
If they were in the right industry, they'd do much better. So try picking something that's got potential, and you have to love what you do.
Yeah. That's what I've always told people is like turn your hobby into your job. I mean, me and my brother were filming videos and look at, where it's gotten to today and just
When did you know
chase
you were
that.
going to be a fighter, though? Was that later?
It was later. I didn't start fighting until I was like 21. Basically, these other YouTube kids started talking smack and sort of like you with the debates. I was like, I can beat this kid up.
Yeah, right.
And so I just started training overnight to become a fighter, and I fell in love with it. And it actually became my top priority.
But did you build up, or were you always like a very strong guy?
I was a strong guy. I had athletic background, Ohio Division I football, Division I wrestling, played sports growing up. So I definitely had the athletic prowess. But at the time I was like on Disney Channel, so I hadn't been training for a long time. So it definitely took me a little bit to get back into it.
So your brother's a great guy too. And it's sort of similar. I mean, it's very unusual. And he's a good fighter.
Yeah.
Who's a better fighter, you or him?
I am, sir.
Huh?
I am, sir. He knows that too, but he's a better WWE wrestler. But I think that
is that true? He's
yeah.
a better, really?
Yeah, he's incredible at WWE.
Wow, that's great.
He's my favorite. I think they need to make him the champion one day.
That's great.
Yeah, but if we fought, I think he knows what would happen. I love you, Logan. But
Do you ever fight him?
People want us to. I just don't think we really want to. But I think it would probably be
It's hard to smash your brother.
exactly. I just love.
Whoa!
Luckily, it hasn't
It's
worked
not
out.
the move.
There've been some cases like that. Has it worked out?
Yeah, I think it would be one of the biggest
Oh.
fights out there.
So what is this show all about? Tell me. And I'm doing this out of respect for you, because I'm the president of the United States, and I'm sitting here with Jake, and I'm saying, you think Joe Biden would do this interview?
No.
I don't think.
No, definitely not. And I will give Trump props for that. He loves the media. That's his whole thing. He really does love the media. I don't think any other president in recent history would do anything like this. But, he is the podcast president. This is how he got elected into office. This is how he killed with the young people. The young people really, really bought into this Trump MAGA movement. Just wish he, wasn't selling us out so hard. But, that's my own personal opinion. I just think that he hasn't done nearly enough. And he has so much power. We have the House. We have the Senate. Obviously, he's the president. He has all the power in the world to do stuff. But now deportations are completely stopped. Stuff like that, man. It really sucks. No new wars. Well, we're 15 days into the Iranian conflict. And it's just terrible.
Think so. He wouldn't know where the hell he is. No, but I'm the president and I'm doing this show.
Yeah.
And I'm only doing it for one reason, because I respect you. It's
Thank you.
very interesting, right?
No, and I think that's such a big reason why you connected with the youth in the last election was going out there. Your team hasn't even told me what to say or any limits, talk about anything. And so
See, that's because they're not doing
that's
their
respect.
job.
That's really
I could say they're not doing their job.
I promise I did not pre-watch this. Everything that I say, they're saying right after I say it. I did not watch this before this. I can promise you that. I'm just telling you what I'm saying when I hear it.
But I think that was a massive reason on you connecting with the youth, and I think I'm open to talking to anyone, and I don't think the other side is really open to it. I don't know what the issue is. I think my brother tried to interview Kamala and you as well, and they just, I think, are scared of actually sitting down and
They were,
chatting.
not me.
No,
Your brother was great.
Yeah, you crushed it.
Joe Rogan was a great interview. He did 300 million people.
Yeah.
And then she didn't want to do it, which, I guess she should have. I don't know. It's funny. It was, I did him and I did some other guys who were really great guys. Barron, my son, Barron, I have a very tall son.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy and he's a good kid. But
Very tall son.
He listens to you. First time I ever heard your name was through my son. And he knew a lot of I don't know if you call them podcasters or influencers or whatever you want to call them, but he'd give me some names that I never heard of.
Theo Von.
And they were very important to, because I won with youth. I did great with youth.
Yeah.
Republicans, for whatever reason, don't do great with youth. And I did unbelievably in TikTok. And then Barron said, Dad, you got to do Joe Rogan. And we wanted to do it. We were talking about it for a long time, about not even this, about other things, not politics, even before politics for me. But we had a great talk. It lasted for 3.5 hours. And you call that long form, right? That was, it was like a nice conversation with a great guy. He's like a great guy. And she should have done it, I guess, but she didn't do it. And we had a great election. This was a great election. And the country's doing unbelievably well. This country, we did this excursion. We had to do it, wipe out evil.
I'm sorry, unbelievably well. It's a little bit of an overstatement, but
sometimes you have evil. And for 47 years, they've been killing people,
Yeah.
We're also the reason the Ayatollah was in power. Not Trump, but the United States.
In the most violent way. The roadside bombs all over the place. That was 95% of them are from Iran. Soleimani, that was the one. We took him out. We did a lot of things, the B-2 bombers, and all of this whole thing that we're doing now is people have waited for 47 years for it to happen. So we have to do it right. But our military has been unbelievable.
No, and I commend you for your bravery, and I think so many Iranians do as well. And I was a bit shocked too. Like everyone else in the world was like, "This is the greatest thing," and I think what you're doing is phenomenal. And I was shocked that
the greatest thing, Jake. You think that this war was the greatest thing? A regime change war in the Middle East is the greatest thing? I'm sorry, but war in general is not the greatest thing. Liberation, I can get behind that, okay? You've seen a lot of Venezuelans that were very excited when Nicolas Maduro was captured. You've seen them in the streets cheering in LA and New York. But along with that, you do see some of that with the Iranian people and the Iranian people that aren't in Iran. But they have 92 million people, and a lot of the people supported the Ayatollah. So I don't know if this is really the greatest thing. It could cause more radicalization. Look at Iraq.
So many activists like in America didn't like it, but meanwhile they're like, "Oh, well, we support women. We want women to have all these rights." Meanwhile, you're liberating the women of Iran. And then they have an issue with it. I thought that was very confusing.
We support gays, but they throw gays off the buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, we support this. I mean, the things they do, and
that's true. The United States, you have the freedom to marry whoever you want. Where in the Middle East, they will kill you if you are gay. That's true. We've said that. I believe in episode 3 or episode 4, we said that the LGBTQ activists that are saying all of this stuff about the Middle East, if you go into Palestine or Baghdad or Tehran, they will throw you off a building. I think that's an exact quote from what one of us said, either me or Will. But it's not our job to be the world police force. It's stretching us thin. We're losing economically. Their $20,000 drones. It's our $2 million Patriot missiles taking down $20,000 drones. Is not a good thing. You see crude oil skyrocket to $115 a barrel at its peak. I believe right now it's around $100 a barrel. It was at $60 a barrel before the war started. So I don't know if this was really the greatest thing. I wouldn't frame it that way personally, but Jake Paul, man, he that's his own opinion, and that's why the freedom of speech, the First Amendment, is one of the best things that this country has.
They're fighting, but I think I have tremendous support on this. This is something that's been incredible. I have the best poll numbers I've ever had now.
That's not true.
And
he does not have the best. He does not have the best poll numbers he's ever had, and I think like 15% of people support the war. So I think those are just two false lies, false claims.
It's not because of this. I think we've just, the economy is great.
The economy is great. 2 weeks ago, I just put it in a full tank of gas the day the war started because I knew the Strait of Hormuz was going to be closed, and I got 285. And then a week later, I got 320. Now around me, 369, 374. I mean, the lowest you see is 355, and that's a Delta Sonic. A lot of the gas has skyrocketed. So I don't know where this economy is great narrative has come from. And I have a lot more to say now that they're actually talking politics.
A little bit of we take a little winding road for a little while, but we have to wipe out the evil. It's an evil curse. They're evil people. And hey, we wiped out their Navy. We wiped out their Air Force. We wiped out everything there is to wipe out. We wiped out their leadership twice. The second time they were meeting to pick which one of them would be the leader, they got wiped out. Now they're looking for a third time. I don't know. People say the sun, but nobody knows where the sun is. The military has been unbelievable. I built the military. I had a great first term, and I built the military. We had the best economy in history in my first term. We built the military in the first term. I didn't know I'd use it so much, but you look at Venezuela, which has worked out incredibly well. Yeah. That was a great military.
The difference between Venezuela and Cuba and even Greenland is that's our hemisphere. The Middle East is not our war. That is not our job, okay? Quite frankly, that's Israel's war, not ours. So it's a completely different thing between the Iran conflict and the Venezuelan conflict. You've seen me support almost the Venezuelan conflict. You see me support the idea of the Cuban conflict that will happen in April, but not this Iran. This is completely different.
Attack.
Was it strategic to go after Maduro first and secure the Venezuelan oil and then go after Iran?
So no, it wasn't time-wise. It wasn't. It was with Iran. We knew we had to do something because they were going to be attacking us. If we didn't attack them, they were going to attack us, and we did it first. And by going first, we wiped out thousands of missiles that would have been shot. And you can shoot them down, but you need a lot of very expensive weaponry to shoot them down. We wiped out thousands and thousands of missiles by going early, and it made a big difference. No, Venezuela was the right time. They've been after Maduro for a long time. They were sending drugs. I mean, they were sending drugs into our country. You've seen it.
Like the video.
They were sending the most violent prisoners. They emptied their prisons. They let them into our country. And it was just the right time. I mean, so it had nothing to do with, it was an interesting question because people said, well, you did so well with Venezuela. Did that give you the spirit or the confidence to go? And nothing to do with it. We had some negotiations where I would have preferred making a deal, I guess. I don't know. Look, I wasn't that anxious to make a deal. Then it would have to be a really good deal. They had to get, the number one thing is they cannot have nuclear weapons, okay? Because a nuclear weapon, they have a nuclear weapon, bad things, they would have wiped Israel off the face of the planet.
Why does Israel have nuclear weapons? That's another one. You see conflicts like India and Pakistan, they both have nuclear weapons. That is a agreement that those two countries have that they will not destruct each other. In Trump's second term, 2025, he ended their conflict. It lasted like 2-3 weeks. Everyone said it was World War III. He ended that. They both have nukes, and it actually holds them away from war because one of them could use nuclear weapons. Israel shouldn't have nuclear weapons if Iran can't. I don't support either having nukes. Honestly, I really don't. If there's countries that should have nuclear weapons, and I don't think any really should, but obviously you can never take that away from someone. They already all have them. The only people that really don't care for them is South Africa. I think that the only countries should be Russia, China, the United States, obviously, and the UK. You see, France is building nuclear. They want to be a superpower once again. But Macron and his government, I would not say that they are very strong, very, very much superpowers at all. They really haven't been since Napoleon. I don't think India should have nuclear weapons, but to be fair, they are up there and in military strength. Pakistan should definitely not have nuclear weapons either. Neither should Israel. Israel is not even in the nuclear agreement. So all of these countries have nukes, but Iran can't because they're going to wipe Israel off the face of the map. And then they're going to go for the U.S., which they don't have the capabilities of shooting ballistic missiles to the United States, but they could eventually get it. So we need to strike them now.
The timing of that was incredible. If we didn't do the B-2 attack, the B-2 is the attack of the nuclear, they would have had a nuclear weapon. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it in the Middle East against Israel and other countries. And
they've been 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb since 1995. I don't think they would have gotten a nuclear weapon if we didn't attack Fordo. I hate to say it.
You saw that recently when they're shooting all these missiles. We didn't know what was happening because we're saying, wait a minute, we're going after them. And they're shooting Saudi Arabia, and they're shooting Qatar, and they're shooting UAE, and they're shooting all these other countries, and nobody knew what was going on. You saw that.
They're just wreaking havoc.
No, they made it. Well, they were trying to frighten them, but they didn't get frightened. It was the opposite. They fought back.
Yeah.
And they were on our side. But our military has done a great job.
Yeah, no, it's been incredible to
Great
watch. I have another question they're wanting us to wrap up here, but I always ask people this question. I think it's super interesting. If you could come back in history and reincarnate and like be able to experience someone else's life, who would you come back in history as?
That's a very interesting question. Maybe Donald Trump right now.
Yeah.
I think Donald Trump right now.
This he's a narcissist. I mean, out of anyone in history that he could have came back as, he chooses himself. Gosh, this guy's ridiculous.
My life is very exciting. I have to be honest. I'm thinking about other lives. I think my life is maybe more exciting. I don't know. Look, I've had a great time. I just, I started off with the phrase, make America great again. Our country was in trouble. We were doing badly. 2015, we had the open border, nothing like it was under Biden, but it was bad. A lot of people coming in, bad people from jails, from mental institutions, gang members, murderers. We had 11,888 murderers come into our country. Got them out. We're getting most of them out. We're trying to get all of them out. They should have never been allowed in. But we had a bad border when I first came in. I won on the border twice. I won the first time and other things, and business and other things. But I won the first time on the border, fixed it almost immediately, built almost 1,000 miles of wall. Then the second time, I say the border is back. I'm going to win on the border a second time. But the second time, because we had a great border the first, after I got it going. And then the second time, now we've had nobody come into our country in the last 9 months. I mean, like literally nobody. And that's given out by Democrats. That's not by.
That there's zero deportations. Obviously there has been deportations with ICE, but less than 1 million, less than Obama in his first year. So what's really going on? What's really happening? The Democrats are winning. MAGA is losing. You're going to be tired of winning. Where is the winning, Donald Trump? You ran on immigration. You won because of immigration. And now just because the border's secure and no one's coming in, you're not going to kick anyone out. And then the Republicans are going to lose the midterms, and it's over. Deportations are done.
We had millions of people pour into our country. You know the story. And they came in from jails. These are the from all over all countries all over the world. The Congo, they came in from all over South America. So,
and are you guys targeting the bad actors specifically? Because I believe there's so many amazing people who have come to the country that are awesome immigrants, and it's like, how are you guys, deciphering between?
We're really looking for the bad ones more than anything else. We got to get the bad ones out. We have, I told you, 11,888 murderers came. More than 50% murdered more than one person. And we have them, either they're gone. Some are so bad we don't want to bring them back to a country. They came in from other countries, rough countries, and we put them in jail because we don't want them to come back. We don't want them ever back here. They're really dangerous. Washington, D.C. was a very dangerous place. Now it's the safest city. It's as safe as any city in the country. We took it from 2 to 3 murders a week to no murders a week. We did a good job. Our military.
Maybe do that in all the cities. Instead of sending our military and our brave soldiers across to Iran and the Middle East and fighting this war on behalf of Israel, maybe put our soldiers and the National Guard in cities and end the crime. End the crime. People might not like it. It might be controversial, but you can drop crime rates like no tomorrow if you just instill the National Guard. I mean, everything he's saying about DC, you can do in Chicago, you can do in Rochester, you can do in Detroit, LA, Miami. Why not? I don't understand. Maybe it's just I just can't grasp it. But I just really don't understand why he doesn't. I mean, he's saying it about DC.
Military did it. We put the military there. They did a great job. The National Guard. No, we're doing a good job, and people like it. And that's all I want. I just want to be a president that's done a great job. We had to bring the country back. So the term MAGA, Make America Great Again, it was such a great term. And that's what I've done.
It was a great term until it died.
Because literally a year and a half ago, we had a country that was laughed at all over the world. You know that. They were laughing.
Yeah, we were just not respected.
Nobody respected
No one
us.
respected the leadership.
We had a country that was laughed at. The king of Saudi Arabia told me, he said, a year and a half ago, your country was dead. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and we do.
Yeah,
and it's guys like you that make it hot.
Keep saying it.
Thank you.
It's guys like you, and it's presidents like me that have interviews with guys like you. But I think you're great, and congratulations to your fiance, I think, right?
Yes, fiance. She's the best.
She just won a gold medal, I tell you, and I watched her win that gold medal, and nobody had a chance.
Yeah.
They didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
That wasn't even fair, right?
No, she's a legend. I'm so proud of her. It was the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in person.
Well,
and to be a part of it.
She's a great person, beautiful. You're not allowed to say beautiful. It's the end of your political career,
beautiful.
But you know what? She's beautiful.
Melania's beautiful as well.
She is. She's doing great. She's doing a good job.
Donald Trump. Maybe Jake Paul's that guy. Maybe Jake Paul is Donald Trump in the future. Maybe he's going to run for political office. He said beautiful. No, but seriously, congratulations to Jake Paul's fiance. She won gold, I believe, for the Netherlands. I'm not really sure, but yeah, winning gold is very impressive, just like Anthony Joshua did. And you've seen his fighting ability against Jake Paul. So yeah, let's finish this up.
Look at us complimenting.
Yeah, well, it's nice. Nice when you can do that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate you. Great job.
Thank you, man.
You're a young guy, but you have done some incredible job.
Thank you.
And so different.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm just hitting stride. I'm 29, and I look up to you and your American, story, the American dream. Yeah. And that's what I want to do, is inspire other kids who are watching this right now, to chase their American dream, because it's possible. I'm, from a couple hours away from here, coming back to Ohio to do this interview is just a
Right.
dream come true.
Well, I love Ohio. It's been good to me. We won in a landslide.
Yeah.
We won
Crushed
everything
it.
practically in a landslide.
Florida
It's,
crushed it.
it's good. Florida,
Georgia.
Texas, all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
It's been
Like the
it's been a
video,
great time.
subscribe
I've had a
if
great
you want.
time, and it's been a real experience. But much more important is to just take this country and bring it back, and it's really back. It's really back.
Yeah, I feel it. No, and I think everyone else feels it as well. And I think the momentum's growing, and
Yep.
we really appreciate
Respect.
you.
They have to respect our country, right?
Yep.
And to do that, they have to respect your leader.
Yep.
So I appreciate it. You
I
just take
appreciate
care.
it as
Say hello
well.
to your brother, okay?
I will.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. Thank
very
you for
much.
sitting down.
And there it is. I asked President Donald Trump about everything. Did you? I don't know. 2,000 views, 40K likes. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a very interesting video as we go through the 4th Sunday of Lent. If you did not make it to church, make sure to say a prayer, maybe read a bit of your Bible, go on the Bible app, listen, stuff like that. It really does mean a lot. The 4th Sunday of Lent, I actually learned a lot today about stuff at church. So very, very interesting mass. Loved it. It was great. So if you didn't make it, just read your Bible. And if you are still here, like, comment, and subscribe, because this Americans Under God movement is going to continue to grow, and we are going to continue to spread positivity and the word of Jesus Christ. So as we continue and we talk politics and walk you guys through what we're seeing through the American lens of a real patriot, a real patriot, me and my brother Will, we will continue to spread the word and the truth. So if you are still here, like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching the live. Or if it's not live and you're watching the video, I appreciate it as well. And that was a very interesting video. So I'll say it one more time. Christ is king. Christ really is. He is the way to get to heaven. He is life. So live your life for Jesus Christ. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you.